Yo, it's been a while. How's it going, everybody? Yo, I have been on holiday for 2 weeks or so. Haven't really done a lot since I've been on holiday. And I said I was going to do some videos, but I did one and then said, you know what, man, I just want to enjoy my holiday. So I scrapped my ideas. I just wanted to chill and do absolutely nothing. Yeah, so I did that. Quite enjoyed my holiday. But anyway, I am back. I flew back in yesterday afternoon. Had about 12 hours of sleep because of jet lag. I'm still super tired, still super jet lagged. But a lot has broken out, specifically the day I flew out back to England. A lot has broken, and I think we do need to have a just a quick little chat about it. Whether this news is good, whether this news is bad. I already know what a lot of people are thinking, but before we get into that, yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Heavy Metal Devils. Welcome back. It has been a minute. Anyway, Jim Ratcliffe, guys. So it broke on Saturday morning for me. It was Saturday evening for everyone else. That Sheikh Jassim has pulled out of the race to buy Manchester United, and Jim Ratcliffe is now the front runner to, I guess, to get a 25% stake in Manchester United, and that will be including total, I think, sporting control, but not financial control. What I'm reading is just this is a total sporting control that he wants. He wants a complete control of the team. Now, contrast to what, sorry, it's cold here. I'm just adjusting my beanie. Contrast to what Sheikh Jassim wanted. He came out with a plan saying he wanted to completely renovate Old Trafford, get the debt wiped out, bring in high level players, high level coaches, and also just develop the area around Old Trafford. Because if you're not too aware, the area around Old Trafford is not that great compared to what the area around Man City looks like. The owners of Man City really put in a lot of money to the surrounding areas and have developed that community. And I think that's something that Manchester United is missing and needs. So that was what Jassim wanted. But apparently, his comments about like returning Manchester United to their full former glory did not sit well with the Glazers. That's just, I think that's just journalism. I don't think that's actually true. I don't really think the Glazers really care what anyone has to say about them as long as they come in with that money. And Sheikh Jassim, unfortunately, did not really come in with the money they were looking for. Now, I believe Sir Jim is offering like 1.6 billion for 25%, which would, if he bought the whole club right out over the next 3 or 4 years, he'd be paying a lot more than what Sheikh Jassim has offered. Now, people are saying Sheikh Jassim should have just paid the money if he really wanted the club. Yeah, I agree. He should have. If he has the money, just pay it. A little caveat to this is that Sheikh Jassim actually does not have the money. All right. Jim Ratcliffe's wealth is more than Sheikh Jassim. I mean, according, to the internet, at least. He probably, maybe Ratcliffe, or not Ratcliffe, Jassim has a lot of wealth that isn't really documented by Forbes, but I think that kind of does point that this would have been a state-backed thing. And I honestly, I can't support a state ownership on a football club or on any sports club, to be honest. So, um, I'm not saying that I'm happy with Jim Ratcliffe because, look, part of me is happy about having him in, but the other part of me is, damn, the Glazers are still here. They will control the majority, even though it's split between a few of them. Jim Ratcliffe will have more stake than an individual Glazer. I don't know if that actually makes a difference. He's not gonna have more. He's not gonna have a bigger stake than all the Glazers combined, but will have more than each individual Glazer. I think the majority of decisions, especially financial decisions, will still have to go through the Glazers, but he actually is buying a good chunk. Now, my only concern, well, not my only, but one of my biggest concerns with Jim Ratcliffe is that his first bid wasn't for 25%. I believe he wanted at first for just to own the club outright, 100%. Then it went to like 59%, then down to 25. He's always fluctuated. And I was hearing that the Glazers just they weren't sure about Jim because he kept changing his mind, changing his offer. But it looks like all along they weren't into selling the club full on, because if they were, they would have sold the club to Qatar and Sheikh Jassim. It seems like the rumors were true that a few of them did want to keep a bit of control of Manchester United to keep that money rolling in, I guess. So I think that's why they went with Jim Ratcliffe. So, but what does this mean, guys? Is this going to be a good thing or a bad thing? Look, let's start with the bad stuff. It's going to be a very, very bad thing if he doesn't live up to what he says. He says, I think the rumors are that he wants to get full control of the club within the next, I think, 3 years. 3 years is a long time, guys. Three years is enough time for you to change your mind, to see, oh, wait, maybe these guys don't want to fully sell the club. Or maybe this project isn't what I thought it was going to be, even though he claims to be a fan. But yeah, if that fails to go through, if he fails to not get full control of the club, and the Glazers are still here in 3 to 4 years time, this is a big problem. It's already a big problem that they are going to remain here, and I expect loads and loads of protest for a full Glazers out, rather than someone buying 25%. And I expect protest to continue. But I think the biggest problem is if he does not live up to his promise of getting the Glazers fully out in the next 3 or so years. I think that was the idea. Next, does he really have a plan for this club? Yeah, he said he wants to bring in Paul Mitchell, which would be a great start. Dude is a great, great sporting director. But if we keep, the likes of Richard Arnold around, or even John Murtaugh around, I think it's just going to spell disaster. We have to get rid of these guys immediately. They're part of the reason why this club is in the mess that it is. They're part of the Woodward crew. They're just part of the old crew that just does not work anymore. So if he just comes in, maybe just puts a sporting director in, nothing else, doesn't get rid of what the problem really is at the top, excluding the Glazers, but I'm talking John Murtaugh. I'm even talking our medical department because of what's been going on lately. I'm talking Richard Arnold. I'm even having a look at some of the assistant coaches and whatnot, like anyone but Ten Hag. We got to keep Ten Hag. But if he comes in, doesn't change any of that, just puts Paul Mitchell in, then we're going to have problems. We're going to have problems. Richard Arnold is an awful CEO. John Murtaugh is terrible at whatever the hell he does. It's just, they need those two need to be the first one out of the door. So yeah, it could be bad if these things don't change immediately. He needs to eventually get the Glazers out. I mean, in an ideal world, they'd be gone already. They'd be gone as soon as he signs those documents. They're out. But guys, this is not an ideal world at times. Nothing is fair. And the Glazers are staying for the time being. Hopefully, they're just sitting in the background and not getting involved and letting Sir Jim kind of run his thing. Look, he's had success with his F1 team, I think with Land Rover. And look, a lot of people have also been trashing what Nice is doing. But from what I've heard from a lot of ex-French players and like that, he's been doing a pretty decent job with Nice. They're in second place right now. They've beaten the likes of PSG. I think a couple years ago, they also finished quite well as well. So he might not be doing an excellent job with Nice, but he's doing a pretty good job for the level of club they are. Now, Nice is not some mega club. They've had a lot of issues before Jim Ratcliffe came in, and I feel like he's slowly making it better. I think we live in a society today where people expect the turnaround to be that first season they own the club. No, these things are going to take years, and you're going to realize that once he gets control of this club. It's not going to be a Newcastle turnaround. I do not think so. I think it's going to be a multi-year thing that's going to get rid of all these people, bring new people in, cycle out the players that are just not working out and bring new ones in. It's going to be a lot of work, not to mention the renovation that needs to go on at the club, at the training ground. This is going to take some time. So we need to be patient to give whatever this new owner is, or new minority owner, stakeholder, whoever's coming in to fund all this stuff, whether it's Sheikh Jassim, whether it's Jim Ratcliffe, whether it's your grandma down the street, we need to give them some time. We cannot expect a quick turnaround on this because there is so much wrong. Now, there's one thing I've noticed that a lot of people have not been talking about. And this could be a really awkward thing if this Jim Ratcliffe deal goes through and he does own part of Manchester United while owning Nice as well. So I've been reading what happens if both qualify for the Champions League, guys, and it's not good. Who from I've watched ESPN on this, done some research, but according to them, whatever team finishes higher in their respective league table will go to the Champions League. The other will not. So, in my opinion, why this is a very, very bad thing is that I think it's easier in France to get second or third if you're Nice. In England, where you have teams, like Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal, even Spurs, you've got Brighton, Villa, Chelsea. It's a lot harder to finish in that top 2 or 3 because I feel like you'll have to do that if you want to qualify over Nice. It's not. I don't think it comes down to whether, hey, Jim Ratcliffe kind of owns both clubs and he gets to choose who goes to the Champions League. So I'm not sure how they get around that. I've been hearing that the UEFA is working on a way that owners can own 2 clubs while being in the same tournament as well, like the Champions League. Obviously, it won't work if you own 2 clubs in the same league, but 2 clubs in different leagues but playing in the same competition. I did hear that they are working on some resolution to get this solved. I don't know what is, and I don't know how you prevent corruption. It could be a whole thing of they can't be in groups together, they can't be paired together until what happens hypothetically if it's Nice versus Manchester United in the Champions League final or in the Europa League, any final? What happens there? And Jim Ratcliffe owns both clubs. Let's say Nice wins. Let's say Manchester United win. Do you think they're going to start going, oh, well, the other team tanked to let Manchester United get this, or the other team, Manchester United, let Nice get this so they can increase the revenue of Nice and whatever. It's going to be a mess. So I'm not sure if this deal goes through. Does it mean that Jim Ratcliffe may put Nice back up for sale and just focus on Manchester United? I don't know. All I know is that I do not want to battle against some French side on who gets in the Champions League if they don't fix the law about it, because it's almost always guaranteed until we really, really become a top team again. Nice could always finish higher than us in their respective table compared to ours. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. I'm following closely what UEFA might do to counteract this, because there's a lot of teams that this could happen to. Like, I think Red Bull got around it, but I think Chelsea and Strasbourg, if those 2 qualify for the Champions League, they're going to have to figure something out. Man City, Girona, they need to figure something out. Yeah, there's a load of teams that this could happen to. So I think this is why UEFA is starting to try and solve this issue. But yeah, anyway, some of the positives, guys. Look, I get it. A lot of people wanted Qatar. They found Qatar as a clean slate. I was starting to lean towards Qatar, but I was noticing that he didn't have the money from himself, that it did look more and more like state ownership, and I can't not put myself to go state owned. I don't care how bad we are, guys. I don't want state ownership. I want to do it. I don't want to say I want to do it the right way, because anyway, it's going to be the billionaire's way, but I just can't do it like that. But the positives are, guys, is he is reportedly a Manchester United team fan, I should say. He was there in 1999. He's I don't know if that makes you a fan, to be honest. If you were just happened to be at a game in 1999 that Manchester you won to win the Champions League, I don't know if that makes a huge difference. But he was there. I think he specifically went there for Manchester United. He's from the Manchester United area. He's from the Manchester area. You can see I'm still kind of jet lagged a bit, guys. My speech is horrible. Um, yeah, he's from the Manchester area. The thing is, he's also tried to buy Chelsea and Barcelona, but apparently, I mean, he could have got Chelsea if he wanted to. From what I'm hearing, is that his interest in Chelsea was more of a Glazers thing. He was like, "Look at me, Glazers. I am ready here to buy your club if it goes for sale." This dude's worth like 30 billion, guys. He can buy this club. It's the Glazers who don't want to sell. And he has to do it this way so the Glazers can get every fucking piece of penny they want for the club. Um, but yeah, I think there is a lot of positives with this. He's done pretty decently with his other sports ventures like F1, I believe Land Rover as well, and is starting to really turn things around at Nice as well. So I think it could be positive. I think the biggest positive is that he is reportedly a fan. Um, and the fact that it's not state owned is positive. I'm just trying to find. I do struggle to find positives because the Glazers are still here, still have a stake, a large stake, kind of still run the club. But if it does mean that in 3 years' time that they will go, then that's what we got to do, guys. We've got to sit through this. Let's hope that Jim Ratcliffe can make the correct decisions. I believe he will, out of the best interest of the team. I'm just crossing my fingers. This is not a vanity project for him. He's old. I don't know how long he can be doing this for. No offense, Jim, but you are old. So I want to just what I want, and I'm gonna leave with this, guys. This is what I want. If this is actually happening, I want Jim Ratcliffe to come out with either a statement or a press conference and just outline what his plans are with the team, with the club, with the with the community, with the Glazers. What's going to happen with the Glazers is the biggest one probably. But I want to know what's going on with this debt. What's going on with the infrastructure? Where's the money going to? I want to see the plan on how you're going to make this team great once again. And I think if you do that, and when you do that, I think you'll start to win the fans, because right now the fans are not happy with you, Jim. The fans wanted full ownership, full takeover, Glazers out. And unfortunately, you were not giving that to what everybody wanted. And we're mad because that's what was on the table from Qatar and Sheikh Jassim. So I think if you can come out, tell us, hey, this is the plan. This is my 5-year plan, my 3-year plan, whatever it is, to get Manchester United restored back and being one of the best clubs in the world again, through infrastructure, through the team, through the trophies that we're winning, all the way down to the community that we create. And that's it, guys. I just want to see him come out and tell us why he wants this club and what he wants to do with it. And I'm just going to stop there, guys. That's my thoughts on what has been going on over the weekend with Sheikh Jassim, with also Jim Ratcliffe looking like he is going to be getting involved with this club now. And my thoughts. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. And yeah, I'll be doing more. Back with the news this week, guys. Back with some more focus videos as well. So stay tuned. But for now,